10 fascinating facts about the psychology of fear. Fear can be fatal. When we're scared, our heart rate and blood pressure increase, our muscles tense up, and our breathing becomes rapid. This is the fight or flight response, which is designed to help us survive dangerous situations. However, if the fear is too intense or prolonged, it can actually be fatal. For example, some people have died of heart attacks or strokes after experiencing a very traumatic event. Fear is contagious. When we see someone else who is scared, it can trigger our own fear response. This is because our brains are wired to pick up on the emotional cues of others. So, if you're around someone who is panicking, it's likely that you'll start to feel scared too. Fear is inherited. Some people are more prone to fear than others. This is because fear is partly genetic. Studies have shown that people who have a family history of anxiety disorders are more likely to develop their own fear problems. There's a spare fear center in the brain. The amygdala is a small almond-shaped structure in the brain that is responsible for processing fear. However, there's also a spare fear center in the brain, called the bed nucleus of the stria terminalis, BNST. The BNST is involved in the processing of both fear and reward. This means that it can play a role in both anxiety and addiction. Fear can be learned. We can learn to fear things that are not inherently dangerous. This is called classical conditioning. For example, if you're bitten by a dog as a child, you may develop a fear of dogs. Even though you know that not all dogs are dangerous, you may still feel scared around them. Fear can be unlearned. Just like fear can be learned, it can also be unlearned. This is called exposure therapy. Exposure therapy involves gradually exposing the person to the thing they fear in a safe and controlled environment. Over time, the person learns to associate the feared stimulus with safety, and the fear response diminishes. Fear can be helpful. Fear can actually be helpful in some situations. For example, fear can motivate us to avoid danger or take steps to protect ourselves. It can also help us to stay alert and focused. Fear can be disabling. When fear becomes excessive or irrational, it can be disabling. This is called a phobia. Phobias can make it difficult to function in everyday life. They can also lead to social isolation and depression. There are many different types of phobias. Some of the most common phobias include acrophobia, fear of heights, arachnophobia, fear of spiders, claustrophobia, fear of enclosed spaces, and social phobia, fear of social situations. There are effective treatments for phobias. Exposure therapy is the most effective treatment for phobias. However, there are other treatments available, such as cognitive behavioral therapy and medication. I hope these 10 fascinating facts about the psychology of fear have been interesting to you. If you'd like to learn more about fear and phobias, I encourage you to do some additional research. There are many resources available online and in libraries. Please like, share, and subscribe.